because when he overstimmed that much, they allowed the mutants to come in and pick off all his marines. And marines are only strong against mutas if they can stim and have medevacs heal them. So the DPS heal from a medevac is rather insane.
And the overstim wasn't quite as much the problem as it was that the Terran player wasn't stopping. He'd stim and then he'd kite back and forth and back and forth, and he'd stim again and he'd kite back and forth and back and forth. He didn't stop to let the medvacs heal, which would have helped a lot as well. So we're going into game number 6 here. Epira versus Rhino. This is a gold matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We have a Zerg versus Protoss. So we've seen at least one of every match, I believe,
Yeah.
now.
It's no, we haven't seen a TVT.
Oh, or yeah, that's true. We haven't seen a TVT. No one likes TVT anyway.
TVT's always been weird.
It has. I agree. And I'm just kidding. I like all the matchups. I'll be watching all the matchups on IEM tomorrow. IEM on one screen, Diablo 3 on the other, probably. Because I can't play StarCraft while watching StarCraft, because then I hear like the DTs coming. I'm like, oh my god, where are the DTs? And then I'm like, oh, it's on the cast.
Oh god, there are DTs!
That actually happened once. So, spawning on Daedalus Point in the northwest position, it is from Team Unrivaled, Epira.
And spawning in the southeast position from Team Alloy Esports is AE.RhiNo as the Protoss.
So, we have Protoss versus Zerg on Daedalus Point, and normally I would give this map in favor of a Zerg player, but with Protoss having Warp Gate, it's not quite as a Zerg favorite, I don't think. I think this matchup is one of the more...
Ooh, AE.RhiNo going for the ballsy move, and he's going to go for walling off the natural ramp.
And that is a slightly bigger natural ramp than most maps have, so it does take a little bit more finesse to do the wall off there. I know a lot of Protoss players like using the pylon as part of the wall off to start here. And not only that, the Protoss player is immediately sending his probe to his opponent. He's not even waiting to finish. A lot of people won't send that probe out until after they get the Forge or the Nexus down first. So we're going to have to see, by moving that probe out already, I would assume we're going to see a Forge first for this expansion, and indeed we do see the Forge come down.
So it looks like AE.RhiNo, what his entire goal is going to be is to make sure Epira here doesn't get his natural, but at the same time, you gotta make sure you can hold off any attack.
So, but the other thing is, this AE.RhiNo is not behind the mineral line, and you would expect that if you're going to try to do a cannon rush. And now the Protoss player did just pop in, scout, see that a drone was there, and immediately puts the pylon down. I don't like the pylon position. It's going to be very easily scouted, and we're going to see that it immediately gets scouted by this drone. The Forge is indeed finished, as well as another pylon trying to complete the wall, and we have 2 cannons going down, so we're going to have to see what AE.RhiNo does, and he pulls a lot of drones here. We do have 1 additional pylon going down, so these drones they're going to have their work cut out for them, as we do also have this 1 probe going to take out 1 drone that cancels the first cannon, immediately remakes the cannon in a different place, throws down another additional cannon. So we have 3 cannons now going down with 2 pylons. That's a very expensive investment. I expect that second cannon to be canceled immediately, and indeed it is canceled as well. Now with a couple Zerglings as well, we might actually see the rest of these cannons be canceled, and that was a lot of money lost. Every cannon that you cancel is 37 minerals you lose, along with these 200 minerals for the 2 pylons.
At the same time, that was 6 drones losing mining time. So
but was that 200, about 320 or so? 320 to 400 minerals lost.
But so as long as AE.RhiNo here gets his wall
and those are also minerals
sealed.
that our Protoss player can't get back. Ooh, and this Overlord might go down from these two cannons. Rhino wasn't paying, or excuse me, Epira wasn't paying that
Oh,
much attention to it, and it just barely goes down. And
just barely lives.
our Protoss
So,
player just waiting for that second base to go up. Our Zerg player already has his up. He does need to start building that additional queen as well. And at this point, he could probably even think that he's safe to go for a third base. So I wouldn't be surprised if our Zerg player takes a third hatchery very shortly.
well, the Zerg player is in dire need of a lot of drones. Because,
But
so,
he's saving up money. Oh, he does have. He's a little bit supply blocked right now. 26 of 28, and it looks like he is actually going to go for the third hatchery.
so,
Now, I like this
well,
move, but again, he does need some drones. He definitely is behind on the drone count.
while
But with 3 hatcheries, he'll be able to fly up there once he
So
starts
while
getting
the
minerals.
Zerg player or the Protoss player Rhino here did lose a lot of money just from all those cannons and cancellations, he does have a secure 2 bases.
Yes, and with this wall, very secure. The only thing I don't like about this wall is both pylons are in the front. I'd like to see one of his next pylons go behind these cannons just to give that a little bit more defense. Because a quick Baneling attack right into those 2 pylons, and this wall becomes an unpowered mess of nothing.
Yep. So he is completely safe there. So and 2 base Protoss can do basically whatever hell they want.
Yeah, especially against Zerg this much. And right now we don't really have anything on the way for our Zerg player. Roach Warren coming down. But really, he's just content. He's going to stay in macro up. Both players are just trying to play macro right now and see what they can do. Both players, just droning and probing.
Well, the advantage here is Aperia does have the better scout right now
Yeah,
because
Epira actually
Overlords.
has a Overlord in his opponent's base right now. And he's actually sending it right now. Going to see everything. Going to see these 4 gateways. And actually going to see these 5 gateways.
Ooh, that's a big reveal there. That means it's probably going for Rhino's probably going for a 6 gate or 7 gate push. That can be pretty brutal if you're caught unprepared.
So Epira has actually seen all of the gateways, and he even has his Roach Warren already down, so he can start pumping out roaches in preparation for this 6-gate attack if he feels it's going to be coming. And at the same time, Epira has started sending Zerglings scouting around the map just to see if there's any proxy pylons or if there's any sort of hidden bases, which he finds a proxy pylon that gets canceled, another 25 minerals forced out of Rhino's hands.
The most important thing you can do when you're facing a 6 gate or 7 gate is deny the proxy pylons.
And Epira getting a Hydra this den, so still feeling very comfortable, still hasn't made much in the way of defensive units.
But so one of the problems of having to try and face a 6 or 7 gate is just the lack of effective armor you have against it. Because the Protoss player can either choose to make a whole lot of zealots or a whole lot of stalkers, and they can you can. But so, but we see double Robo. So I'm not sure what you want to do with double Robo. Maybe make Immortals or.
But Immortals against what looks like it's going to be a Roach Hydra composition, and even mainly Hydras, because we see some Hydras being made here, but no Roaches just yet. 6 Overlords, so it looks like our Zerg player is getting ready for a huge wave of units.
Oh, there's a robotics bay.
But Hydras now are so good against gateway units, especially after the buff to their attack speed.
Well, Hydras have always been effective against stalkers and stuff, but the thing is they can't tank any damage, so that's why it's always Roach Hydra. Hydras with spine crawlers can also be extremely effective. So, but it doesn't look like Aperia wants to go for roaches right now.
Making another 10 Hydralisks right now. So Epira just massing Hydralisks right now, and without any Colossus, these Hydralisks are going to be very good. It would be nice to see some Roaches in play to help tank for these Hydralisks, but
I'd like to see actually Ling Hydralisk. That might be a better player, but he's going to have to do something before Colossus hit the field, which are going to hit very, very soon.
yeah, and we do have extended thermal lance on the way as well, so we definitely are going to need to see some Roaches to help tank the damage. And we, again, our Zerg player, though, just macroing out, trying to build a huge army right now. 72 army supply for our Zerg player right now, and it is almost pure Hydra. If we take a look at the units, it is 29 Hydralisks right now on the field. That is an insane number of Hydralisks.
Now, this is where if you had a Nidus Worm and just simply dropped all those Hydras in the back of the base, suddenly the Protoss player's in the bad position of trying to defend.
Your wish is Epira's command. 26 Zerglings on the way to join these Hydralisks. So 2 Colossus and a bunch of gateway units along with an Immortal going up against 30 plus Hydras and about 30 Zerglings. This is going to be an interesting fight to see what happens. We do have a 3rd Colossus on the way, almost out. Extended Thermal Lance and Ground Weapons level 2 for our Protoss player will be done by the time this attack hits. Needs to make sure this attack hits together. You don't want your Zerglings to get too far ahead of your Hydralisks, because these Zerglings will just get taken down so quick, and then your Hydras just lose any kind of tanking, and a lot of Zerglings go down for free right there. You need to wait for the Hydras. The Hydras are now here, so we're going to have to see what happens. These Zerglings get in real close, and the Hydras trying to move in, trying to stutter step as best they can.
Colossus.
One Colossus goes down, and now these Hydras are just going to be chased away. There's no real tanking that we see, and now finally our Zerg player is getting a bunch of Roaches. And level 2 Zerg range and Carapace coming out, and an additional Colossus from our Protoss player, and the Protoss player now getting a 3rd base up and walling it off very well, actually, from the north.
Actually, Epira, actually, what he needs to be doing is getting a Spire so he can make Colossus, or make Corruptors, kill Colossus, and also maybe throw down some more bases. There's one extra
and as
base.
You say this, the Spire comes down along with 1 macro hatch and 1 additional base, so Epira definitely listening to you, and Burrow being researched as well for our Zerg player. We do have an Observer coming out, though, for our Protoss player, so Burrow not going to do quite as much as it could. I would like, you know, so
If he can... He also needs to get the muscular augmentations for Hydros. There he goes.
6 sentries just warped in for our Protoss player. Very interesting choice this late into the game. You don't normally see sentries being made, you know, past the 10-minute mark almost ever.
Sentries will still be incredibly good because he knows his opponent's going a primarily ground army, so you just put force fields and separate the armies into 2.
There's this one sentry that's on a move command through the Zerg hotbed, and
Goodbye, little sentry.
it just gets taken down.
Epira is actually... He's having some troubles with his drones. Also, he finally made some more. He's up to 76, which is about where you want to be. You can go up to like 80 drones before you start just having too much worker supply.
And now we have a very nice Roach Hydra army. We do have 3 Colossus and a lot of charge lots ready to meet these guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. As the charge lots come, force fields come, but they really don't help or hurt anybody. It's just kind of there. And Mothership Core coming in is probably going to be used for some time warps. A bunch more Zealots being warped in as well. These Roach Hydra trying to just do-si-do around that little hole in the middle of the map and see what they can do. Maybe they can make these Zealots out of position, trying to get a good concave. We might get a free Colossus kill here. No, they just get some damage off on it, and now these Zealots are coming in. A big attack coming in, and these Colossus, 5 Colossus now doing work, and these Zealots are just
still has no
down.
Corruptors. He cannot do anything against an army until he has enough Corruptors to take out
Spire
all.
is down, and level 1 weapons for Flyers is about to finish,
Oh.
but we have a fourth Nexus coming down from our Protoss player, and this Zerg army just got crushed. It got
Ooh,
sandwiched, and
Mutilis
now
are
it's on a
not what you wanted to get. There's too many stalkers on the field.
and this beginning of this army here, now the Roach Hydra army does get taken down. Uh, Not very much left for these units to do anything, and
The time when you want to do a Mutilis transition is when you have enough gas to make about 30 or more mutas. He can take these mutas and start just basically skirting around the map and harassing. In which case, Rhino here can just say, "Well, I don't want to play your game. I'm just going to A move to your base."
but it does look like our Protoss player Rhino here trying to make a move here on the natural, and we do have a nice little muta ball. We're gonna have to see what happens here. These mutas need to go in and start to defend. If these sentries now use Guardian Shield, they will be worth their weight in gold and helping defend this muta attack. And we do have a couple Guardian Shields pop out, so these mutas aren't going to do much of anything. There's too many stalkers here, and I would expect a GG coming out very soon. And indeed, we do have one. Our Protoss player taking the win. So that moves Alloy Esports up to a 4-game to 2-game lead over UR, and so we are 6 games into our best of 9, and normally this is where we go into game number 7. I have some bad news for you, Hawk.
Uh-oh, what's that?
The remaining 3 games were all walkovers.
Oh, that is a tragedy.
So we have no additional games to cast for you guys today. So instead of that, let's go into the finals here. Let's take a look at the winners. And it turns out that Team Unrivaled actually comes out on top 5 games to 4 over Alloy Esports, with all of the walkovers going the way of Unrivaled. Unfortunately, Alloy Esports unable to play 3 of those games. If we take a look at the winners in our bronze-silver match, we had Heimdallr over Miss Vital. Deacon in our first gold match over Tsunami. JJ Walker loses to Apophis in our first platinum match. In our first diamond match, Vital takes the victory over Endersword. Silver match number 2, we saw Dingus take down Katana. Gold match number 2, we saw Rhino take down AE.RhiNo. And then in our 3 walkovers, Chaos Master X got the walkover over Fan of Stuff. Sang-hoon in the gold 3 match wins in the walkover over Maui Spartan. And in our diamond ace match, Fox takes the victory over Gaga. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. This has been a presentation of the Chobo Team League, week number 3, season number 6. Go check out Chobo Team League at choboteamleague.com, and we will catch you all next time. Once again, my name is Corn Muscles. Casting with me was Spiderhawk. Thank you very much, Spiderhawk.
It was an honor.
And we will see you all later. I've heard that there is going to be a best of 5 show match between Smithy and Hollywood that will most likely be cast on Corn Muscles on my Corn Muscles channel. So stay on the lookout for that very shortly, and we will see you all later. Have a great night, everybody.